Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a demonstration and a quick overview of another single 3500Z amplifier. You know, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is what makes this mountaintop 500Z or this this box different from this box, different from this box. 90% of the time, it comes down to one thing, and that's the power supply. The more stout that you make the power supply, the more the tube is going to put out. And the higher in voltage you go, the more gain that you will get per watt going in. That's what separates all the different boxes. So like in this amplifier in particular, this has a pretty hot power supply. She idles somewhere between 3,700 to 4,000 volts. She's somewhere in that neighborhood. She drops a few hundred volts when you key up. It's a 600 milliamp transformer. I mean, it's really, really, really overbuilt for a single 500Z. It just is. But that being said, boy, she really puts out. And that's, I like to build them that way because let's face it, you know, everybody wants something to really get down. You know, people want to play with their equipment. So, but you know, sometimes my prices vary, and I will tell you something about pricing. Everybody, I know this is going to sound like a sales tactic, and I promise you it's not, but you know, nothing's ever as cheap as it is today. And nothing's ever going to be as cheap as it is today. I mean, you could apply that to real estate, to cars. I mean, look at the price of trucks. You know, I mean, come on. It's everything's going up in price. All these tubes, these 500Zs, I don't know. I think when I checked a couple weeks ago, these tubes are like $268 a piece, these 500Zs. And they weren't a couple years ago. And they keep going up in value. My cost on transformers keeps going up. And most recently, Charger had to reevaluate his pricing on these cabinets from ICA Manufacturing. All these aluminum boxes, I'm getting them all from Charger, and I love the product. Just no complaints. It's just, you know, his prices go up, and I think he increased by a considerable amount on a lot of the boxes, and that's going to affect everybody's bottom line. And let's be very frank. Let's talk about business for a minute, guys. I don't like to talk business because it's a little bit gauche, but you know, all amplifier builders, unless you're really, really thrifty, you know, we're making 15-20% on these things, if we're lucky. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Don't get me wrong, but we're not making 100% on these things. So just keep that in mind. Our prices are going up on everything, and so if you want new builds like this, guys, you got to be prepared to pay, and that's all there is to it. But that being said, this box has a heavy-duty power supply. I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to show you the inside. It's got, by standard configuration, you've got a tune and load on the output. You've got plate voltage, plate current. To the top left, you've got on-off. You've got AM sideband standby. The box is biased correctly. You have a fixed tuned input. The air intake is on the side on this one. And she goes over here. Let's see here. You got a smooth back. There's a reinforcement plate that goes around. Let me move the bird meter for you. I'm going to take the cover off here. You got an internal blower that pressurizes the cabinet, blows up. Look how pretty that thing is. Look how pretty this box is. You got a chimney. This box runs amazing. So let me put you back here. I'm going to put a couple screws in real quick, just so this thing doesn't vibrate on us. But I finished this box last week, and it sold pretty much immediately, the same night, over at Trucks CV Sales. You know, I sell a lot of boxes. So it's probably, I don't think it's going to rattle. I sell a lot of boxes at Truck CB Sales. Great guy, great vendor. You guys could do a lot worse, I got to tell you. You should buy your stuff from Trucks. He's a legitimate guy. It's got a soft start, so you're not going to see a big thunk when you turn the power meter on or anything. Oh yeah, turn the power switch on. Here's the power meter. first thing we're going to check is drive, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't want it to be cut off. All right, and we are looking at the top scale. That is a 250, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. It is a, just so you can prove it, it's a 250 watt slug. So we're going to be looking at the top scale here, okay? And let's check the drive first. So I'm going to put my driver on. I've got a single final radio with a 1 pill. Nothing crazy. I'm going to be giving it a 20 watt carrier swinging 100 watts PEP. PEP is on. We've got a 5, 10, 15, 20 watt carrier. You see that? 20 watts. Now let's give it some audio. So this is the equivalent of me going audio. And we've got, what, 90 something watts there, 100 watts. Let me just see if I can get it to exactly 100. Can I? Yeah, that's 100 watts, right? 100 watts. All right. Oops. Sorry. Unkey. All right, now we're going to swap to the 2500 watt slug. And I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see the play current meter and all that stuff. We're going to put the box on. You can watch the step starts really quick. Oh, I got to plug it in, guys. Sorry. See, I don't like that. I told you, I don't work on the boxes when they're plugged in, you know. Anyway, all right, so, okay, soft start came up. We are idling, looking good. Let's put this thing in AM. We are in AM, and we're going to give it a carrier. So again, top scale, so that's 500, that's 1,000, that's 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Let's see what we get for a carrier with no audio. So we're keying about close to 350, 400 watts, something like that. We're pulling 300 milliamps. Now let's give it some audio. And we are seeing 1,500 watts out. And we're still right around 300, just, I might have jiggled a little bit, but we're dropping down to 3,500 volts. And that's it, you know. Now, anybody that has any questions about how to tune and load these boxes, the answer is give it audio and move the knobs till you see maximum PEP. And I will demonstrate that. So I'm going to move these knobs out of position so this box will be mistuned, okay? So we're going to simulate keying it up, giving it audio, and then we're going to move the knobs to get to max, all right? So, Claudio, it's going. See the watts are off? See me move the knob? See that? You're peaked. That's how easy it is to tune a box. So you would key the mic and say, oh, or give it a tone or whatever, and then just move the knobs to maximum PEP. The input on this box is dead flat. I can show you that. I think this meter is still hooked up here. Where are we? This is the input. We've got a 1.08 input SWR. I don't know if you can see that, 1.08, 1.09. This box runs perfectly. She's got a great tuned input. She's got a great output. You're getting a whole mess of watts for not a lot of money. And not a lot of drive. Very hot box. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Stay tuned. If you want amplifiers, you can contact me at my website, mountaintopelectronics.com. You can contact Brian over at Trucks CD Sales. You know, easy to get a hold of me, and we're always making Z's, and I gotta get this thing packed up because we're shipping it. All right, buddies, thank you very much. Bye-bye.